Hello everyone, and welcome for this video update on the Adobe Analytics plugin or module on Python, and this is the version 0.2.5. And I'm quite lazy, so this is how I would think we can do an update, and you know which version I am referring to. I think that it's an issue at some point that some videos are different version of the module. So now you will know directly which version I'm using for my video tutorial. So let's get started, and now we will tackle the legacy element for Adobe Analytics API 2.0, so the version 0.2.5. And you will see, so I've created a notebook to demonstrate the legacy API support. And I prepare also the page where there are some methods that we can try. So the legacy API, so the 1.4 support has been added on this version, the 0.2.5. So if I'm actually logging the Adobe Analytics, so Analytics 2 as API 2, the way you actually work is the same than for the 2.0 version. So you just have to add it. You can also check that you have the correct version. And after that, you can, the same way then for the 2.0 version, you can directly log in and get your company ID. So the 1.4 is having its own class, which is called Legacy Analytics. And you need to pass the company name. And in comparison to the 2.0, where you need to pass the company ID, in that case, you need to pass the company name. So let's call, actually, I want to demonstrate the different endpoint with 2.0. So I call it my company old this time, and I'll pass this one. And by doing that, you get access to different elements. So the same ways that before, you can actually do a dot and then do a tab version. And you can see the object, and then you see that I have a get data, pass data, and you can actually also see the token if needed, if you want to use the token somewhere. So in the next call, I'm actually using the get data, and you see that the get data has several parameters. So if I'm doing, okay, if I'm doing help on the my company old, get data does not exist. Now I'm doing this, and you see that I can specify a path, I can specify a method, and the parameters that I want to use. Some definition. This comes from the Swagger UI, because most of the elements are based on the same endpoint, which is the REST. We see that, and then there's a method attached to it. So most of the elements are actually post method, so you don't need to use a get, but for some you actually can use the get and don't need to use a post method. So I added the functionality. And to have the endpoint, you can actually do my company endpoint. And here you see it's a 1.4 REST. So you could imagine changing that to anything you want if you need that to any of the other endpoint from the 1.4 API. And then by doing the company get report suite, I just will return my report suite. It takes quite a while. It's not as responsive as the 2.0, but you get the result here, and you can then work on this. You can also use the post method, which again you pass the method, so company get tracking. So it's exactly like the method you see here. So in my case, I want to see the get tracking server, and you can pass now an additional parameters, which is the data. And in that case, I need to specify a report suite, and I will take my main report suite. And by doing that, now I'm actually retrieving, oh, my company does not exist, it's my company old. I need to push that here before I'm doing a mistake here. The same ways go for reported get var, and then you need to pass a list of reports to it. And you can pass here one for me, my reported ID, and I will get the answer of this directly by different dimension. I hope this was helpful, and you will be able to use that in a flexible manner. Goodbye.